uninstalled that memory yet.
Yeah,
I'm playing this Saturday.
let me tell you again. I know I said it in the Slack, but having the notice that we were going
Mhm.
live because I thought it was this one, and even though I knew it was Tuesday, but that was scary.
I'm sorry. I hope the dance competition was otherwise great.
I mean, it was fine. We actually they had to the competition director had to make an announcement to tell parents to not yell at the staff that are basically
Oh,
the high school
jeez.
kids of the host team.
Oh.
So
Great.
yeah, because apparently parents were trying to sneak into the back rooms with the kids when they didn't have permissions, and also opening the doors that are specifically closed and held closed during each routine so that there's nobody like trying to walk
Hmm.
in front. And they were getting yelled at. And that was the first time that I had ever heard that. And according to the host guy, he was like, yeah, this is the first time in the 17 years I've been a coach that I've ever had to make that announcement. So win some, lose some, you
Awesome,
know,
awesome.
People are people.
people are great,
Uh,
except for when they're
uh,
not.
except for when they're not.
Hmm.
Okay. I think it's live. It seems to be saying that it's live.
They put
Yes.
this house on like a really jaunty angle relative to the grid,
It
which is
is,
That
yeah.
fun.
must have been fun to cover.
But as I'm uncovering it, it's like, yeah, it's great. I have to draw these little funny like geometric shapes because it's not just a square. Really, really testing my tracing ability
Your
here.
drawing skills.
Yeah. Um. Let me just check. Did this actually? Let's see. YouTube says we're live, and I hear my own voice talking to me about shapes. So hopefully that worked.
Nice. And the,
Um,
the the little red recording light is blinking this time. And I've got waveforms on my audio hijack and I see a
Yay.
chat. So I think
You're awesome, Kathy.
we'll see. Don't say that yet.
I'm sorry. We never mentioned like break a mic to the
Yeah,
leg.
something like that. But yes, I think we're working. I think it's going
Okay.
correctly.
Um, so what are we doing today? It's important that I orient my brain toward this because running multiple D&D things, everything is great. Today we are playing Masterpiece Imbroglio. I've been practicing, which is a Keys from the Golden Vault adventure. We are not playing a Candlekeep Mystery. That was this weekend.
Yep.
Everything's great. There's four of you, not however many hundred people are that. James Thompson is not here.
Nope.
Okay. Whew. And we only played one session of this, correct? But you
Yes.
did
Correct. Yeah.
so
That's
many
correct.
things. So many things. Okay. All right. I think we're good. Everyone's definitely recording. I think we should play some D&D, right? This seems
Yeah.
impossible. 804? That doesn't happen. This, I don't
Well,
know.
yeah, it's only 5:04.
Well, all right. Let's play some Dungeons and Dragons.
Ooh.
Welcome back to Total Party Kill. It's me, Tony Sindelar, Dungeon Master. I use he, him pronouns. And today we are continuing one of our keys from the Golden Vault heist adventures. We are continuing Masterpiece Imbroglio. Our operatives of the Golden Vault have been basically hired by a group known as the Cognoscenti Esoterica because they need help recovering a stolen painting. A painting that is said to be of the most beautiful man that ever lived, but is also probably magical and therefore potentially dangerous. Who stole that painting? Well, based on some interrogation, they know that that painting was stolen by the local thieves guild, a guild known as the Agile Hand. Our operatives have made their way to a local tavern where they know one of the Agile Hand members hangs out, one Elix the Saint. And they befriended Elix the Saint over, good drink and good conversation and lies about being fashion designers. Just traditional Tuesday night meet and greet kind of activities.
Yeah.
Um, And so kind of taken with the group is Elix the Saint that he has escorted the group back to the Agile Hand Guild headquarters to talk fashion. But before we get
Why
any
am I
further,
here? Nobody knows.
before we get any further, let us reintroduce our keys from the Golden Vault. I will introduce the players. They will introduce you to the characters that they are playing, and then we will get into things. First up, it's Monty Ashley.
Hi, that's me, Monty Ashley. Uh, my pronouns are he, him, and so basically are those of Krong, the bugbear nightmare monster, who I
Next
am
up,
playing.
who you are playing. Next up, it's Annette Werstra.
Hello, it is I, Annette, playing J. Raff, who is an Asimar paladin. And apparently, I'm a fashion designer, and we both use she, her pronouns.
Also joining us, Aline Sims.
Hello, I am playing Jasper, the Tabaxi monk. Neither Jasper nor I know anything about fashion, and our pronouns are both she, her.
And last but certainly not least, Kathy Campbell, also rocking the stream for us. Welcome back, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you. I am here. I am present. Seems to be working, which is great. I am playing Tinkerbell, a fairy druid. Both of our pronouns are she, her, and I'm very excited for Fashion Week.
All right, so let us kind of reorient you to the scene. You met Elix the Saint down the road a ways at the Tipsy Tankard. You traveled in your kind of black stagecoach provided by the Golden Vaults. You've pulled up in front of the Agile Hand Guild House and piled out of the stagecoach. Elix the Saint has made signals to various guards standing around that you know are not to be assassinated on site, as is perhaps how they would normally deal with unexpected nighttime visitors. And let me just give you a little bit of what you see in front of you. So the guild house, as it's been referred to, is actually kind of two structures next to each other. On the left or west side of the kind of area here, you have, it looks kind of like a two-story residential kind of house. It would be, you know, a pretty nice big house, I think, both by D&D standards and probably just by Tony standards. And it's got kind of a round three-story tower with a turret on the west side of it that you can, if you look at the map, you see that one part's kind of circular. That's that. There are a variety of kind of like balconies and whatnot, exterior balconies on both structures that have guards patrolling on them, as well as the numerous, looks like low level, not too impressive looking, but a decent number of them, Agile Hand members standing guard in the middle of the night. On the east side of the guild house, you have another structure, and this looks a little bit more, I don't know if industrial is the right word for Dungeons and Dragons, but like part of it is clearly like a barn, and it looks like it might be more of like a lodging house, or at least had been a business in its earlier life. Before it was taken over by the Agile Hand. So slightly more residential looking structure on the left, slightly more industrial looking structure on the right. Look, I'm a Midwesterner. This is just how I'm going to map it. I see basically farmhouse on left, barn on right. But, you know, barn with like maybe a little storefront in the corner or something like that. So you pile out of the stagecoach, and Elix the Saint is here, and he kind of barks some kind of clipped greetings to the various bandits that are standing around, and he starts making his way over to the structure on the left side. So far, so good.
Yeah.
We follow.
Yeah.
All right. Elix the Saint kind of clumps up the steps, and he pats around on his belt. Seems like the other guards hanging out here who are just watching the front of the house perhaps don't actually have keys to it. Elix the Saint does. He produces his keys and unlocks the front door to the guild house here. And I'm going to say just shows you inside. Let's see here. I'm going to have to reveal more of the map. I'm going to reveal a lot of the map at once because doing
Shapes are
otherwise
hard.
is hard. Yes. So most of the first floor of this guild house, there's as you go in, the first thing you see is like a set of narrow stairs, clearly leading up, and then kind of a hallway that kind of runs from the front to back of the house. And Elix leads the way over into basically it looks kind of like the scoundrel equivalent of a conference room. you know there's a big long table. The table is like super marked up with like knife marks. There are multiple knives that are just stuck into the table that presumably people stick and unstick when they're making dramatic proclamations within meetings. There's some kind of stuff tacked up on the walls, but it's not very impressive. And there's like it looks like a couple plates with old cheese on the table. There's one guard in here who seeing Elix arrive basically clears out and goes to stand by the door to the house. So Elix kind of is feeling real proud. This is this is our meeting room for the Agile Hand. I thought this would be a good place to chat. This is where our group does all of our big thinking and planning and whatnot. Please have a seat. You are my guests. We would normally never show outsiders this place.
What's this cheese?
Oh, that's just that's cheese. I don't think it's anything other than cheese.
But what kind of cheese?
He looks at it. He pulls out a dagger and he stabs a little bit of the cheese and puts it in his mouth. And he thinks, "Yellow."
Good.
World building, people.
It's like we're there.
Mm-hmm.
So
He barks to the guy who's kind of lingering in the hallway. Wine for our guests. And a low-level Agile Hand member runs to some room in the back of the house and appears not too long later with some flagons of the cheapest of wines. So you have made your way into the conference room of the Agile Hand Guild House. You've gotten past a lot of guards. You've gotten past a locked door. I'm very interested in what's going to happen next. Listeners, as the dungeon master, there's a lot I do to create an environment and set up things. And, sometimes I'm structuring a story where I have a sense of where things are going. This is not one of those times. This is one of those times where the players have done things that are legitimate and valid, but have taken us completely past where I expect to be. And it's a little bit like when, you let a parrot drive your car. You don't know what's going to happen. It's not a good idea. No one's really happy about it. But here we are.
How many times, Tony, have you let a parrot drive your car? That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah,
there
that's
is-
extremely
there is a
relatable
parrot.
circumstance.
Yep.
Yeah, for legal purposes in the state of Massachusetts, never.
Tony, I have a question.
Mm.
Is the magic painting in this room?
Do a quick survey of the room. Give me a quick perception check. Krong. And Krong, remind me, I apologize. I always forget. What is your current appearance vis-a-vis Hat of Disguise?
Right now, I'm still a rotund British style man with a walrus mustache.
Yeah. See, I
and
like
a bowler
British
hat.
style, man. Fantasy Britain.
Yes.
Fantasy Britain.
We were trying to trick you with the cheese because so many
Yeah.
cheeses are named after like places in France.
Yeah.
Ha. Shows what you know. I'm not very good at naming cheese.
I rolled a 17.
All right. You look around. Krong, first off, there are no paintings in the room, and so you are confident that none of these paintings are the painting in question.
None of these non-paintings.
You do
Cool.
notice, you do notice there is kind of like a big fantasy bulletin board with what is clearly a map of the compound of the estate that you were at just this early afternoon when you were briefed by the Cognoscenti Esoterica. But you notice Elix has gone through and he's like pulled down all the little note cards with names of things. But clearly they planned a job in this room, and I think based on even the most poorly covered up of context clues, that this is where they planned the heist of the painting from.
I would like to pickpocket him of his keys while he's in this room at some point.
Okay, that seems like
Anyone
not
else?
that hard, especially if a friend helped you.
I would love to distract Elix the Saint and ask where maybe a washroom is to get cleaned up. We have been traveling a lot, and so it would be nice to be able to, refresh my fairy self.
Things are a little rustic here. There's a well outside.
Do you just pee in the bushes?
I prefer not to answer that question. Reveals a lot of uncomfortable questions about D&D map making. Um,
Ugh.
it occurs to you that the Agile Hand Guildhouse does not smell great. lot of unshowered people wearing black leather on hot days.
Darn it. There goes my plan. My thought.
I would like to pick up a knife and I'm going to start just pontificating and I'm waving it around.
Okay.
Not because I'm being threatening, but just
to create a distraction.
I'm in a mood and I'm in a creative mood. And so I'm like, Elix.
Jay, could we just hear a little bit of what that pontificating sounds like?
Yes. I am really enjoying the vibe of this room. It's just so amazing. And I feel like the creative juices are flowing, but I feel like this is just one part of the picture of your community. And I think to really tap in to creating something unique and special to you, I would love to see a little more of the compound, maybe talk to some more people and just get to know you. I think it would really help me create designs that are just so amazing.
Krong, would you like to
that?
do a sleight of hand with advantage while that's happening?
Yes, please. Either a 26 or less than that.
Okay. It helped that you saw specifically what key, where he keeps the key on him. I don't imagine Elix Saint is the kind of guy with a lot of keys, but you have the keys.
Excellent.
And Elix says, I can get some of the guys in here. We gotta keep it a little dough down. It's night and some people are sleeping. We kind of,
Okay.
and some people are probably sleeping it off. There was some partying after we pulled a big job last night. So, and
Are you big partiers? Is that something we should incorporate in the design?
Oh yeah, some of the guys are big partiers. Big partiers. I mean, both in terms of physically and volume of liquid. Yes.
I take a swig of the wine and sort of make a face because I have better taste in wine and I know this is the cheap stuff.
This is incredibly cheap, bad wine. I probably, in fact, we don't want to, maybe we shouldn't hang out here too much longer. I don't want to get in trouble with the boss, but I'm sure I could show you around next door.
Yeah, totally. I'd love to see it.
And in fact, as that is happening, a woman in a kind of imposing looking woman wearing black leather, as is the look of the Agile Hand, but with very kind of ornate things kind of worked into the leather and a really fancy hood and like a giant dagger, walks into the the conference room and just kind of stares at all of you. Clearly, this is not what she was expecting to see. Who are you people?
Hello.
Elix? Okay, now I have to talk to two voices.
Yes.
Guildmaster, these are some friends I made. This is the legendary fashion designer J. Raff, and she was gonna talk to. I was talking to her about doing some, some designing some outfits for the guys. Elix, we've talked about this. You are a generous soul and so trusting, but this is not a good time for company. This is a very delicate time for our operation, and we are going to have important guests coming tomorrow. Perhaps you could entertain your friends next door in the barn. Uh, yeah, we were just headed there. And he stands up.
I get a really good look at this woman.
Okay. Classic Hat of Disguise owner line. She kind of stands back and she's looking at each of you real serious, like, as you, I imagine, basically kind of have to file out of the room past her out the front door. And Elix is going to lead the way across the yard and into the barn, if that's okay.
As we're walking, I just want to pay like as close attention to outside exits, doors and windows as I can. Just
Yes. So as you're traveling, Jasper, I will just point out to you, there's the front door to the house that you came and went through. There are lots of windows, but they are boarded up relatively securely, kind of like both from the inside and outside. So it would certainly be very loud and or effortful to traverse them. You do see a back door at the back of this hallway that kind of cuts through this building, and you feel like you've probably basically seen about half of the first floor of this building. I think just from context clues, you could guess that there's probably some kind of kitchen in the back corner, and you hear the kind of chatter of carousing guild members from the kind of front corner of the building, but didn't see in there.
Okay, but there's doors. We can see the doors. That go
Yes,
into
you can
the
see
other
the
rooms.
doors. And let me. This map is a little finicky. Let me. I'll just basically draw a little hole in the. Do you see those
Yep.
white squares?
Yes.
Or those be doors.
Okay.
Yeah. So Elix kind of leads the way out the front door, down the steps, and he seems a little, like a little shaken up by Guildmaster Dusk's admonishments. And he's got his hands in his pockets and he's kind of shuffling along. And he says, "Hey, sorry about that, but we aren't supposed to have any guests right now." And he takes you into basically a barn that is next to the guild house.
It's a good thing we aren't guests then, isn't it?
I mean, like guests of the guildmaster. I mean, I didn't mean any offense by that. And he leads you into a, I guess perhaps surprisingly well appointed barn. There are, stalls for a bunch of horses, and it's fully staffed with horses. There's some nice lit lanterns that are illuminating things. And honestly, this part of the guild house seems like slightly less run down than the messy meeting room next door. And I don't know. I guess Elix can introduce you to some of the horses if you'd like.
Yes, introduce us to some horses, Tony.
Yes,
Yes,
please.
we'd like to pet some.
Okay. Yeah, this is my favorite horse, Shadowcarp. And how many?
Madam.
Wow, not a strong opening for my first improvised horse name.
I like Shadowcat.
Of course.
I like it.
I was like, needs to not be Shadowfax, but can't be too different.
It could
I
also
can't
be
think of anything.
Shadowfax.
No, like colors in a
We can
fish.
Shadowfax.
I'm sensing the vibe.
Mm.
Green trout.
yeah. Also, Shadowcarp, white horse. It's confusing. But there are a bunch. Yeah, this is Shadowcarp. He's my favorite horse. And Shadowcarp seems like a very well taken care of horse. This area here is strange. It's possible that the Agile Hand uses this as some kind of front for legitimate business in terms of doing basically deliveries or light shipping. There's some wagons in a big storage room next to the barn. But I think Elix is gonna excitedly talk about horses for like at least 20 minutes, unless you want to do something.
I do want to like just pay attention to what he's saying about the horses and where they are and all of that stuff. Like we don't know what's going to come in handy later, so I'm just
You
trying
may
to
be quizzed later on
right.
all the horses,
Horse names,
their blood types,
what they look like.
Tink goes around and introduces herself to all of them.
Oh, okay, nice.
I've got his keys and the ability to look like him. Should I just go into the other building and try to...
And we could keep him talking about horses.
Well, especially because I can, what is it? Animal shape change, whatever. I could, if we need,
Wild shape.
Yes, that one.
I can also shape
Into
change
a
'cause I
horse
have a
or just into
tattoo of
anything?
disguise.
Listen, I've watched enough Instagram stories with creative ideas. I don't remember any of them right now, but I'm sure we could think up something that's wild shape.
I imagine flash forward 3 hours later, both houses are on fire. You and Shadowcarp are standing in front of the fire. You have wild shape to look like Shadowcarp, and Elix the Saint is standing there with a gun for some reason, and you're like, wow. Shoot him, I'm the real Shadowcarp. And Elix the Saint shoots him, and then he says, wait a minute, Shadowcarp can't talk.
That's exactly what I'm imagining
for Elix.
Yeah.
Now challenged to
Now we
make
don't
this
even need to play the
happen.
adventure. So
We're gonna manifest this for Tony.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So obviously, no one has even dared use the plan word, which I appreciate. You have a variety of people that could disguise themselves. You could,
I
there's
think
4 of you alone in a barn.
Yeah,
you could theoretically knock out Elix the Saint, or you could do a slightly stealthier. Someone keeps him talking. I mainly feel bad that the person who has to keep him talking is just kind of locked up there, for the adventure. But you decide your own adventure.
One solution to this adventure is me just going off and doing it all by myself, but that doesn't sound like that much fun.
Well, I could keep him busy for a while. Will you at least do some reconnaissance? Because it feels like, not that this is a plan, I sense the painting is probably in the other building.
Yeah.
Seems like you wouldn't steal a painting and just put it in your barn, at least.
Yeah, well, and you also wouldn't tell your mysterious guests to go off to the barn. You're guiding them away from them.
Yeah.
I left my coin purse in the wagon, mate. Excuse me for a moment.
Sure. A mo, yeah.
Elix, can you tell me about this horse here? This glossy black horse? It's so beautiful.
Yes. We call this one Brown Beauty.
Right, that's so interesting.
See, when we
got brown, black. When we got her, we thought she was going to be turned black. It was kind of like an in between, and she was in the mud a lot. But we're wrong. But once you name a horse, you can't change their name. I don't think. I don't know. That's what I was told.
You can't change their name. That would be a terrible idea.
Whew.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Do you have any carrots? I'd like to feed it some carrots.
Oh yeah, let's go get some carrots. And he leads you and Jay walk over to the storage room, and he's rustling around looking for carrots. So
I want to try to stay where I have line of sight to the house.
Okay, that seems pretty easy to do.
Yeah, like if the guards start running in or something, that might indicate that Krong has.
I will say, especially the guards seem much less worried about you all in that you are in the presence of their second in command and are in the relatively less secure barn next to their guild house. I will just to mention, I don't know if it's obvious on the map or not. You're in the barn with all these stables. There is like an overhead area above it, like a kind of a lofted area above it. And you also notice in this room with a bunch of wagons, Jay, there's a door that clearly leads into like the interior of this building. But Krong, you made an excuse to slip away from Elix.
As I turn the corner here, I'm turning into Elix,
Yep.
Shocking.
and I will stroll confidently up to the front door of the farmhouse building.
Yep. All of the low-level Agile Hand guild members who are stationed on night watch duty avoid making eye contact with you and don't give you a second look as you head over to the front door of the guild house
I unlock it with these keys that I've already seen used.
with your stolen keys. All
Yes.
right, you are in the Agile Hand guild house. There is a low-level guild member cleaning up flagons in the meeting room. You've got the stairs to the second floor ahead of you. You've got a door to parts unknown on your left.
Let's go to that second floor.
All right.
As I'm going up, I will change my look again. So now I look like dusk, but slightly worse. Like I'm envisioning a member of the Agile Hand that is trying to emulate dusk, but doesn't have the budget or eye for fashion.
Timu desk.
Interesting.
Timu ducks.
This is what you receive.
All right. I'm going to drag your token on the map, Krong, up to the second floor and then bring everyone's attention over there. So, Krong, you are a poor facsimile of Dusk, and you stride up into a large open room. There are a couple doors off of this room. One of them clearly leads out to a balcony. Two of them lead to points west of you in the structure. What is the description of this room? This room is clearly a big storage room for stolen goods. There are scrapes crisscrossing the floor where people have dragged various crates and whatnot. And there's containers and boxes and crates and even some barrels that look like basically things have been stored here. There is even I'm not going to point that out yet. There is one low-level guild member walking around here. He's got a clipboard. It looks like he's taking an inventory of stuff.
Do I see the magic painting?
Give me a perception check to casually look around, or maybe even thoroughly look around.
Well, I didn't roll that well, so it is just a 7.
Looking around, there's no painting within sight, though there are a lot of crates that could potentially contain a painting.
Do we know how big the painting is?
Do you know how big the painting is? I think you know that it's decent size. I think this is not like one of those paintings that's famous and then you find out it's really tiny. Take that, Da Vinci. This is... He knows what he did. And it's very unlikely he'll listen to this.
The last picture is way bigger than you think it is.
Let's see. Do they give me an actual description? This is weird. They tell me how much it weighs. Don't you think they tell me how big it is? Or they tell me the weight?
Well, how much does it weigh?
It weighs 15 pounds. That's including the kind of fancy frame.
That's pretty big.
That's a pretty heavy, yeah.
It has 20 hit points. Have I answered any of the questions that you have?
What happens when it's bloodied? Is it leaking paint?
It's not good.
It's got a gash in it.
Yeah. I felt like I should have an answer for how big it is, but we're gonna say it's reasonably sized, and especially thinking about that, if it was in one of these crates, most of these crates and boxes are pretty small. There's a limited number that it could be in.
I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Remind me what Detect Magic gives you.
I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet of me.
even through
If I
stuff.
sense magic in this way, I can use my action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its school of magic of any. This spell can penetrate most barriers, but is blocked by 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal, a thin sheet of lead, or 3 feet of wood or dirt.
All right. Looking around, all the boxes are mundane. So they may have things in them that are of value, but not of anything particularly exciting. And as you are scanning the room, one particular large box in the corner catches your eye. And as you look at it, Kronk, because it has a magical aura, um, specifically, it is not so much I mean, it's a kind of box, but it is a kind of box that I think most people would refer to as a coffin.
Mm.
And it's kind of encrusted with dirt, but not 3 feet of dirt and wood. And I think that you are getting kind of like a sense of divine, radiant kinds of magic of something in that.
We weren't told anything about the painting being in a coffin or.
You are not. I think it's also unlikely that the painting would be divine in
Divine.
nature.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh, is there any aura from outside this room as I'm walking around?
As you're walking around within 30 feet, I'm going to say no.
Outside the room.
Hmm?
I'm going to go up to this guy. Make things
Okay.
happen.
You're going to approach one of the Agile Hand Guild members and remind me you look like Dusk, but not Dusk in a weird
I
way.
look like somebody. I look like a member of the gang who is trying to look like Dusk and failing.
Okay. Just Dungeon Master to Monty moment here.
Yeah.
What are you trying to accomplish? Because I'm confused.
I want to know where the painting is. This
No,
guy
no,
had
but
the-
with your costume.
Oh,
Am I allowed to know?
well, if I ran into Dusk, I would go on a thing where I was really
Your
impressed by
cosplay?
her outfit,
Okay.
and I wanted to dress like her, but I didn't have the budget. And if only somebody could like give me some fashion tips and just
Gotcha.
try to
So
tip
you're-
Dusk towards this ridiculous plan we have going on.
Okay. So you are dressed like her, but maybe your face doesn't look like her.
Exactly.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
think
That
I
makes so
understood
much
that.
more sense. I was
I did
also
not
very
understand
confused.
that. Okay. The guild member turns to look at you, and says, "Nice threads. I don't think we've met."
I'm precious.
Oh, Brickface. Nice to meet you.
Oh, Brickface.
Brickface is just finished checking off something on his clipboard of
Oh, how does that thing work?
Elix has me up here just making sure that we've got what we're supposed to have and that nothing goes missing. You know, thieves, they like to steal.
Yeah, but this thing that's holding. I'm staring at the clipboard itself. How
Oh,
does it work?
well, it's like got like a little metal spring. Yeah, they're new.
Gosh, mister.
Yeah, Artificers of Gone just put these out last week. Real handy. I used to just walk around with like a stack, and if I forgot to bring a rock to hold the stack of papers down, they'd all get lost. It was real bad. Bad scene. I mean, Elix, I mean, you could tell he wasn't mad, but he'd be disappointed if I messed it up.
Could you show me how it works?
Yeah, and he's he almost gets his finger caught in it once, but then doesn't because sleight of hand. But it's
I'm looking through the pages to see
yes.
if there's an entry for magic painting.
There does not. Looking through the Monty, I think I was legitimately fooled by what you were doing. Why would you not want to know about this? The inventory tells you about what's in this room. There is apparently a bunch of casks of elven wine that are quite valuable. There's a bunch of poisoners kits. There's apparently several crates worth of, what kind of tools do thieves use? Thieves tools.
Thieves' tools.
Yeah. They're inventorying that. It looks like he just finished inventorying some expensive spyglasses. He has not worked his way up to. There's a whole page that's like coffin, and then like a place to itemize the contents of the coffin. So yeah, no mention of stolen painting, magical or otherwise.
Hmm. All right, I'm going to go back downstairs. As I walk downstairs, I'm going to turn back into Elix.
Okay. Let me move your token. There were. Did I mention there were doors off of this room? You didn't care?
You did, but because I got along that wall and didn't sense the painting, that means the painting isn't within 30 feet of that
Yeah.
wall.
Which covers
And
a lot.
based on the downstairs area,
All right. Let me drag your token back down to the first floor of the guild house.
I'm going to go through the door that Dusk went through earlier.
Dusk actually went back upstairs.
Hmm.
All right, I'm going back upstairs as Elix. Fuck this.
Okay. Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, bleep this.
So this bandit just saw somebody precious go by, and Elix come back up the stairs.
Yeah. Where's
The
Dusk?
uh she retired to her quarters, and he gives like a weird fake bandit salute.
Do his eyes at all reflect what door I should go through?
Yeah, it seems like over to the south.
All right, I'm going to go over to the south.
All right. So I'm just gonna
Open the
reveal
door
more.
very
Yeah,
quietly.
very quietly. Like I'm just gonna reveal a big chunk of the map because why not? So the southern side of the second floor of the Agile Hand Guild House. One part is an open balcony that looks out over the front yard of the guild house. And Krong, you have opened the door into what seems to be like kind of like an office. There's a table, there's a bunch of files, there's a fireplace in the corner, and there's a door with a kind of surprisingly ornate plaque that says private, enter at your own risk. And there is a guild member who is kind of stationed on guard, standing there looking sturdy, arms crossed in front of the door, though he relaxes a little bit when he sees Elix, and he says, "Hey, boss."
I walk past him without saying anything, and I go inside.
I don't think that's a good idea. And you walk past him without saying anything and go inside.
He's a very good guard.
He's so Krong, you have strode, done striding.
Strided?
You are you have walked right into the personal bedchambers of Guildmaster Dusk. This circular room contains a canopied bed with a leather trunk at the foot. They always start with the most ridiculous parts of the room. Tell me more about the trunk at the end of the bed. There's a fireplace. There's wooden staircases hugging both walls of the circular chamber, one leading up, one leading down. And the two occupants of this room is clearly Guildmaster Dusk and a nobleman. Looks like he is a human nobleman, probably from Varkin Bluff. Give me a very hard history check, Krong, because I feel like you probably don't read the society pages. J-Raff would know immediately.
I would.
What was that?
13.
13. You know that he's somebody important, but you can't place the name or face. And they seem to be enjoying a nice candlelit, flagon of cheap wine, 2 straws, and and she glares daggers at you, metaphorical daggers, but there's the implication that a literal dagger could be involved at any moment. And she says, "Elixis better be important."
The crusade is here. You need to flee.
The who? Sorry, well, I didn't hear you.
The crusade is here. You
The
need to flee.
crusade?
Crusade. That's probably a crusade, right?
Um, um, dear, I need to speak with the help. And Guildmaster
Oh,
Dusk,
Is the painting in this room?
give me a quick perception check.
That is a 18.
Let me ask a leading question. Is your detect magical thing still in effect?
Yes.
I
That's for
think you
10
know.
minutes.
Okay. The painting is not in this room, but I think you are confident that the painting is upstairs from this room. All right. Guildmaster Dusk walks up to you, grabs your arm, and leads you into the office. If she
Is
can.
that upstairs?
No, it's the room you just walked out of.
Okay.
Okay. And she is looking at you. Now, I think this is one of those things where, yes, you are wearing a hat of disguise, but she just grabbed your very furry arm, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
So I think that she would get the chance to do some kind of chance to see through your deception, correct?
Probably, yeah. To
All right.
discern that you're a disguise, a creature can use its action to inspect your appearance and must succeed on an intelligence, parentheses, investigation, check against your spell save DC.
What is your spell save DC?
11.
I have rolled a very lowly 6. We'll assume that Guildmaster Dusk is distracted and just assumes that you're wearing a fuzzy like fuzzy shirt that she didn't quite notice. But she is very unhappy with you, and she just glares at you and Elix, and she says, "Elix, I'm entertaining a very important guest. This is very important for the future of the Agile Hand. I'm not sure what you think you are talking about, but there's no such thing as a crusade, and I'm concerned about you, dear."
You've changed, Dusk.
I assure you that you are the one that has changed.
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Brickface?
You're right.
Brickface?
I will walk out.
Okay, Brickface appears in the door just as Krong, aka Elix the Saint, storms past.
I just walks past pensively.
Walks past.
Like Dusk has given him a lot to think about.
I don't get the feeling that he spends a lot of time in contemplation, to be honest.
You hear Guildmaster Dusk whisper to Brickface, maybe keep an eye on him. Obviously, this job was very stressful for him, but he's a good man. And then she looks at the other guy and says, make sure that we are not disturbed for real this time, and heads back into her quarters.
I will stroll out and rejoin the horse lecture.
All right. Brickface is going to kind of follow behind you, Krong. So you have picked up a bit of a trailer here.
Uh-oh.
Meanwhile, back in the barn, Elix Hussein is telling J-Roth all about tackle and hooves, the art of saddlery.
Okay,
Guys, I didn't do the
I'm
background
going to
reading of
ask him
horses.
questions like, what do you use the horses for? Are these your horses?
Oh yeah, they belong. I forgot what his voice sounds like. They belong to the guild. We do a lot of deliveries. I mean, sometimes it helps when you're in the import export business to also do some legitimate import export. That's part of our brand. It's important that you know that.
Legitimate. Oh, so
Yeah.
some illegitimate stuff, yeah?
Well, it's about facade. That's a word that Guildmaster Dusk keeps using.
Facade. I
Yeah,
wave
do
my
you know what that
hands.
means? I haven't figured it
do.
out yet.
It's
Oh.
like this relates to the fashion of it because we want to like present you as legitimate,
Mhm.
but also fearsome, but also illegitimate, and it's all a facade.
Yeah. It's like Guildmaster Dusk says. It's about like the masks we wear. And at first, I was really confused because we do often wear masks, but I think she meant it in like another way too.
Yeah, a metaphorical mask.
Yes. What does that mean?
It's like a mask of the soul.
Okay. Yeah. I love souls. That's why they call me Elix the Saint, I think. Um,
Yeah.
and Krong reappears. Brickface lingers nearby.
Hang on.
You're gonna shake your tail.
Well, we need to do that because if he sees this other Elix, I think even
Oh yeah.
Brickface will sense that something is up.
Yeah.
Huh? Huh?
Um, maybe Tink can see that Krong is coming back in and is going to come over and like introduce herself to Brickface, so that Krong can go around the corner and change in between.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd only need to buy him like a second, right?
Yeah.
All right. And he's lingering because he doesn't want to like get all up in the face of Elix the Saint. So he's making a way. It's also it's dark and he's crossing a dark, empty little farmyard between the two buildings. And Tinkerbell kind of floats out looking all sparkly. And Brickface is kind of scurrying. He's got his clipboard under one arm. And suddenly you appear in his peripheral vision.
Hi.
Oh,
I haven't
Hi.
met you yet.
Oh, Brickface. I'm actually working right now. This is not a great time.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I just really liked that clipboard that you had, and I was wondering
Oh,
where
yeah.
I could get one.
Temple of Gond. I think they ship them in from Waterdeep, but yeah, tell them Brickface sent you. They'll get you a discount. I gotta go
Amazing.
though. Nice to meet you.
Okay, bye.
And Brickface rushes back into the barn, turns the corner, and sees a fantasy equivalent British man there. I assume, Monty.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. All right. Let us assume that the four of you kind of regroup with Elix the Saint, who's talking about the masks that we wear, the saddles the horses wear, everything. And Brickface is going to kind of linger on the edge of the group, probably just within earshot, trying to keep an eye on the situation. I don't know what the next stage of this plan is. It seems like you have a lead on where the painting might be found, but it is in a pretty protected and dangerous part of the guild house. Yeah.
Is there a time element to this? Like, do we need to get it tonight?
I think there is the implication that that the Agile Hand is going to basically deliver it to whoever they stole it for tomorrow morning.
All
So
right.
I think there's
Like
the
when the
implication that
guests are coming.
yeah. So I think that if you waited 24 hours, the painting might not be here anymore. And I don't have an adventure for where it goes next. Look, do we know what happens when when a stolen painting gets shipped on? Do they like cut it apart and sell it for pieces? That
Usually,
doesn't seem
yes.
like that makes
Yeah.
sense.
They boil it down. They sell the red paint, the blue paint, the yellow
Yep.
paint.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And the
See?
gold frame.
Yeah.
Indigo.
I think they covered this in one of the John Wick movies. I'm not sure. Why don't the John Wick movies have magic paintings in them? That seems like they're leaving money on the table.
We'll tell Keanu. He's listening right now. So
He could play a magic painting in there are several movies that would be
I would
improved
watch it.
by a magic painting played by Keanu Reeves.
I mean, I'd watch anything Keanu Reeves is in. So it works out.
Yep. You're very discerning. So
Yes.
what? So yes, there is a ticking clock. It's the middle of the night. You've been talking fashion and horses with the Alexa Saint, and it seems like it would be best if when the Agile Hand wakes up at the crack of dawn, the painting is not to be found where it can be delivered to. It's the next people in the chain of stolen painting ownership.
So perhaps we could take turns entertaining Elix the Saint. So
It
we could
seems
rotate out and get Krong to update
Relatively
us.
easy.
Yes, he is very easy to entertain. But then we could be around the corner and get the update from Krong.
Mhm.
And then we could devise a whole new knot plan.
Yeah, Krong, let's assume that you can pull various people aside and fill them in.
So it's in the top floor of that little tower thing over on the side of the building. All we need to do is climb up the wall, get inside there, get the painting out, climb back down, and escape.
Question about fairies.
Yeah.
So I know I can fly, but
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
can I
Nice.
like just fly up through the side of the house?
It doesn't say like you have a fly speed, correct?
Yeah.
Then yeah, that flying is flying. It's not like flying asterisk, but not when it's useful.
Okay.
Uh,
Listen, I'm just checking.
No, no, no.
I'm asking the right questions.
I mean, how many of us have played a character with a fly speed before? Not many of us,
Yeah.
right?
I have.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay,
Um,
okay, Aarakocra.
How Tinkerbell? How much can you lift? Does it
Yeah.
have
That is the other
carry
thing.
speed?
If you can't lift 15 pounds and you're carrying around like 12 magic swords or whatever.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, that's the tricky thing,
Okay. I am looking for that information. Google. How much can I carry?
What's your strength score?
Oh, the average fairy can carry 75 pounds.
Oh, so
Okay.
definitely.
What's your strength score?
-1.
Okay.
Mine too.
Yay!
How does strength turn into carrying capacity, Monty?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Frankly, I'm offended that you would ask me that.
Rude.
You asked it as a
Like as a this will tell you how that will affect your carrying capacity
Okay.
or something.
I just wanted to get a feel for it. You're a little below average.
Yeah.
your carrying capacity is your strength score multiplied by 15. This is the weight that you can carry in pounds. So your score is 9, right?
8.
8. 8 times 15 is a lot.
Yeah.
It's 120. Is that what we said before?
We said 75 earlier, but that was
75.
the average fairy. You're not the
Okay.
average fairy.
Yeah.
You're an adventurer.
I'm an adventurer. But
You're an
either way,
adventurer.
15 pounds is nothing.
You could steal a lot of paintings in one go.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, there's probably this is the question of like awkwardness of holding.
Right,
Like,
right.
I mean, unless you're like stacking them up like you're delivering pizzas or something, which
That's
doesn't
an
seem
option. That's
like
an option.
the best way to deliver stolen paintings. But I'm not going to tell you how to do your job. Um,
How tall is the building?
So the guild house itself is kind of a 2-story house, but it has a little 3-story circular tower tacked onto the side of it. And Krong knows from personal experience that Guildmaster Dusk has the second floor of that tower is her personal quarters, and so there's something of importance on the third floor of the tower.
And in that tower, because of course I saw it and took note of this when I was outside, the window situation in that side of the tower.
Yes, all of the windows in the guild house has lots of windows. All of the windows on the first floor are boarded up securely to prevent people from easily breaking in and out. The windows on the second and third floor are just windows. Do I have any description of those windows? Yeah, they're windows. You could imagine that they might be locked, but that they are, they're windows as opposed to a boarded up window.
And do I think that they would be big enough to, say, remove the painting that weighs 15 pounds?
Yeah, I think any of the windows accommodate any medium-sized creature. So even
Excellent.
the less fey of you could navigate those windows.
Excellent.
And I think we can guess that if Dusk is, quote, entertaining someone on the second floor and locking everyone out of her bedroom, there's probably not many people on the third floor.
Yes.
And God help me, I'm just going to mention, as a person who can fly places, a legitimate use of rope. Legitimate use of rope. Fly up to somewhere and leave a rope down for people.
Yeah.
Is not a banana pants way of using rope.
Yes. But
Well, we
see,
won't
why
do
would
that
I
then.
need?
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
know. I was like,
Just-
why would I need that if I can go in and steal a painting
Like,
and get out
quietly,
myself?
We'll just be like, hiya, let's
Yeah.
get out of here.
So my thought is, well, first off, are there windows in the stalls of the horses?
There are not. Sadly,
Okay.
the horses do not get a view. No,
Very rude. Not even your favorite horse, Elix.
no, not
Very,
even Shadow Carp.
That's okay. I am
A
going.
name I will definitely remember after this session.
Of course, of course. So I have a plan to kind of go over the top of the house, of the barn, to then travel over to the house because I don't want to like have the guards see me.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can go up to the third. So basically, I'm going to follow along the path of the barn and then to the house
Yep.
and then break into the window. Does that
Real
sound-
stealthy like.
Yes. Yes. Which, of course, this is a conversation that we had before.
And right now, Tinkerbell, this is a solo, high risk, high reward operation for you.
Mainly because I don't know how
Because
else.
none of these other jerks can fly.
Right?
But also, like, we probably want to, like, be somewhere where maybe we can
Help
still distract, but also keep an eye on things in case you need, like, an assist.
Yeah.
But if all goes well,
In and
you
out,
just,
and boom,
like,
we're
say,
done.
You put it into our carriage and we, like, sneak off or just
Yeah.
openly drive away with it.
Yeah.
Maybe we wrap this adventure up in a couple minutes. Yeah, that would
Yeah.
really make my life easy.
Yeah.
That's not gonna.
That's not going to happen.
But yeah, well, you never. No, it's probably not.
The depressed DM. Fine, everything works. You win.
It's all going to work in
Yes.
5 minutes.
So-
All right. So, Krong, you haven't had a chat with the Elixir Saint. Maybe this is a time for you to take him aside and tell him all about fantasy Britain. And Tinkerbell takes this moment to kind of dart off to the side. Now, it is tricky because there is both Elixir Saint, who doesn't suspect anything, and Brickface. Brickface, the bandit, who has been ordered to keep an eye on Elix, not Tinkerbell. But you are going to need to give me a stealth check to basically kind of surreptitiously, leave this party.
Okay.
While she's doing that, I'm gonna help her by, like, I don't know, dropping my brewing supplies or something. And
Perfect.
Thank goodness, because I rolled an 8.
Roll again.
We could just set this place on fire.
Not with all the
That is an
horses.
option. But I rolled a nat 20. So
All right.
nice.
That is amazing. I am just going to apply that basically to your next thing. Tinkerbell, you slip out the back of the barn, kind of float up the side of the barn, and travel basically, along the tops of the roofs of this structure and arrive over at the tower on the guild house. Allow me to I'm just going to say, you can look in through windows, so I'm just going to reveal that part of the map for you. Where is your token?
Oh, I was moving it.
You already move it?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
you already got there. So you have floated up, and we'll say you've come around to the side. There's the tower, it's this little, the top of it, little circular room, and you're looking in through the windows. It's dark, but you can see a little bit in the moonlight what's going on in here. And this little room is set up. It looks like kind of like an office, and perhaps from context clues, you might assume that this might be Guildmaster Dusk's office. There's like a fancy chandelier. There is a writing desk, and it's like just cluttered with stuff. And there's a relatively nice padded little chair in front of it. And then kind of across the view from you, Tinkerbell, the moonlight just kind of catches it as the moon comes out from behind some clouds. A golden framed painting of a beautiful, well-dressed man hanging in a shallow alcove near the top of the stairs in this little office. Do I have art of this? Yes, I do. Is it going to take me a while to find that art? Also, yes.
Yes.
1 second. I'm so bad at navigating. Roll 20 really quickly.
You're doing great.
It's called suspense.
All right. There is a painting of a very attractive man dressed in courtier's clothes on this golden framed painting hanging in this wall. Um, and you are like, yeah, I found it.
Yeah.
And as you're looking at it, the painting speaks to you, Tinkerbell, and it says, "Why, hello there."
Oh, no.
And
What's
this is where
up?
we will end today's
Ooh.
session. You have successfully infiltrated the guild house of the Agile Hand. You have snuck around under the noses of Guildmaster Dusk and Elix the Saint. You have located the famous magical missing painting set to be fenced off in a matter of hours. Can you get into this office? Can you steal the painting? And can you escape with your lives intact? For answers to questions such as these, tune in next time to Total Party Kill.
Pew pew pew.
Pew pew pew.
2 episodes with no combat.
I know.
Woo.
So smart.
I'm
it.
basically on the verge of like at any point they'll do something wrong and I'm gonna have to name it's like 40 guys that are gonna want to kill them.
Then we will die.
Why would anyone want to kill us? We're such
What?
sweeties.
You
Yeah.
know,
Are.
they don't
We're
know
here to
that though.
help.
They haven't taken the time to get to know you, and that's
That's on them.
that's their loss.
Look,
yeah.
we're getting to know to Elix pretty well.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot at this point. So
I
I
Only
don't
best
I don't
friends
understand
now.
how this guy is like second in command. What are the rest of them like?
I think not great. Yeah, I don't my the backstory for Elix as presented in the adventure was pretty minimal, but I have decided that he is just like he's too good as a person
He's
for
too
the
sweet
guild.
for this world.
Yes.
and like somehow has basically been elevated because of that.
I wonder if
Um,
it's because everyone else has like gotten into fights and so they end up dying because
Yeah.
they get into a fight and because he's too nice and won't fight anybody or
He now has
won't-
the most
Also,
seniority.
he doesn't
Yeah.
lie, I bet. He can't
Yeah.
lie.
yeah.
So you trust him.
I feel like I've accidentally created a character that would be in the background of like the Taika Waititi pirate show. But yeah, that's the
I'm
Alexis
here for
thing.
that.
Mhm.
All right. Well, this is you've done a lot in only 2 hours of heisting, and it's possible that we will conclude this heist next adventure. You never know. You
With
never
no
know.
combat. is
Not
the
if you
goal.
say it like that.
Not if I jinx it, which I just did.
Yep.
Mm.
Live stream / bootleg. Thank you for listening. We hope to be back sometime soon. You can always check the calendar and the Incomparable Discord and see what's coming.